Before I was even vegan, I used to love enjoying Rasta pasta. The restaurant that I used to enjoy it at would serve it with whatever veggies that they had, but I couldn't forget that creamy, dreamy sauce and that jerk spice hit. I've had it more times than I can count, and I just had to share it with you in this video today. I'm going to tell you where the name comes from and just some of my favorite tips for making pasta dishes in general. Okay, let's get started. Alright, let's get right into our ingredients. You're going to need 8 ounces of uncooked penne pasta, and you can also use a protein pasta here instead if you want to just give it a nice protein boost, and any shape works, to be honest with you. You're going to also need 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm using algal oil, but olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, any oil you have works. You're going to need half of a white onion, and you're going to want to look for a medium or a large white onion, and a red onion is also fine here as well. You're going to need 3 cloves of garlic minced as well. And then you're going to need star of your show, your bell peppers. You're going to need a green, a yellow, and a red. Let's just pretend that that orange one is yellow. I noticed afterwards, but yeah. Bell peppers are the star of the show, and I'll explain to you why in a little bit. You're going to need 1 tablespoon of spicy wet jerk seasoning, and you can use my homemade one as well, or you can use a store-bought one like Walker's would. You're going to also need 1 can of coconut milk. You can use canned, light, or full fat. I recommend full fat for flavor. You can make it yourself as well. If you just check back my rice and peas video, I have a whole section on how to make that, so I'll link it here as well. It's pretty easy to do. You're going to also need 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, as well as 1 teaspoon of onion powder. And I like to layer like fresh seasonings with the dried powdered seasonings as well, because it really gives it like an extra layer of flavor that's really necessary in the recipe. You're gonna need 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika as well, some salt and pepper to taste, which is all gonna depend on your jerk seasoning, so I didn't want to give you exact amounts here, but yeah, definitely be tasting that as you're making it. And 1 cup of vegan cheese shreds as well, plus some vegan Parmesan cheese, as much or as little as you like, basically, to add into the sauce and to go on top as well. If you don't have that, you can add nutritional yeast instead. And you're going to also want some nice fresh parsley or thyme to go on top for a garnish and just some extra flavor. And yes, I know you probably know how to boil pasta, but I have to show you my empty sink. I feel like I brought up this empty sink several times, and now you've finally seen it. So the first thing we're going to do is boil our pasta, set to the side. And of course, you want to make sure that your water is well salted, especially if you're using gluten-free pasta. Ensure you're imparting a lot of flavor into that pasta. Next, we're going to just prep our veggies while I tell you about the origins of Rasta pasta and or bell pepper colors. So this dish was originally invented by a Jamaican chef named Lorraine Washington, and mind you, the original recipe is very different from this, but she said that she was making it for a group of carpenters, and when they saw the red, the yellow, the green, which are the colors of the Rastafarian movement, the customers that she made this for said that the colors inspired them to call it Rasta pasta. And this is actually made with fettuccine pasta, and they said that the fettuccine looks like dreadlocks, so now you know the origin of the dish and the name. All right, we're gonna heat up our oil and cook down our onions. We like to cook them by themselves because they really just give it so much extra flavor when they just get to shine on their own, basically. Then we're gonna start adding in our sliced bell peppers into the pan. Cook that for another 3 to 4 minutes, and you had cooked your onion for about 5 minutes first, by the way. I don't recommend it cooking for less than that because it's just not really gonna pull out a lot of flavor out of the onions if you cook it for less than that. Add in your garlic. Only cook that for like an extra 1 to 2 minutes, basically, so that you don't, burn that or anything. And then you're gonna add in your wet jerk seasoning, and I keep saying wet jerk because I didn't even know there was dry jerk until I saw it in an American store. So wet jerk seasoning, just so you know, mix all of that together. Add in your coconut milk. If you or somebody's allergic to, coconuts, you can definitely swap in like a vegan heavy cream here as well, just so you know. And then we're just gonna stir everything together. You're gonna start by adding in those nice dry seasonings now, your garlic powder, your onion powder, and your paprika. You're gonna stir all of that together, and then you're gonna just bring this mixture to a simmer. And I should know that this original recipe that Lorraine Washington made was so popular that they begged her to put it on the menu, and it was there for such a long time as well. And I just love reading about the way that Jamaica just has such an impact on the world, on cuisine, on music, on culture. It's really inspiring, and it really makes me proud to be a Jamaican. You're gonna add in your cooked penne pasta back into the pot, stir in your vegan cheese, and you just wanna mix all of that together. Now, I am using a gluten-free pasta here. If you're not, your sauce is gonna really come together a lot quicker. You know, it's not gonna be the easiest thing for gluten-free pasta, but it still tastes absolutely delicious. Two of my friends were over, and let me tell you, they kept going back for more. They really enjoyed it, and that was like a huge compliment to me. So when I saw that, I said, no, I have to do a video for this. And I really do feel like you guys are gonna absolutely love this dish. My daughter loves it, my husband loves it. Every single time we're in Jamaica, I make this, boy, almost too often, to be honest with you, but you know, it's a tradition at this point for me. Add in your vegan parm. I also have a homemade vegan parmesan recipe on my site. If you want, you can use nutritionals or add it in any way. It really enhances it. You're gonna love this. It's 30 minutes start to finish, and this is just a classic. It's absolutely delicious. Okay, I'm gonna segue into past Jessica, who was recording this live. This is protein pasta, and this is also one of my favorite ways to just get in protein without having to like think about it too much. You get the pasta, the fiber, the taste, you know, because protein pastas have come a long way. And it's also just a change, you know, you get your chickpeas this way or your lentils. Pretty much anyone works. I also like to add nutritional yeast into the sauce to kind of just boost the protein content, and you could even do like a quote-unquote vegan jerk chicken on top, or like jerk mushrooms. I have a couple of recipes on my site for like some other protein options as well. Okay, taste test time. This smells so good, like my mouth is literally watering. When I tell you that this is creamy, dreamy, spicy, like it just has all the perfect pasta notes. I kind of think of it as an Alfredo sauce meets jerk sauce. It's just the perfect combination, and like I just added a little bit of jerk tofu on top, but you can have it by itself, especially if you're having it as a protein pasta, and it will be very filling and very delicious. If you wanted to boost the protein even more, you could blend your coconut milk with some hemp seeds before, adding some extra nutritional yeast into that as well, and then pour it onto your pasta. You can even add some white beans into that as well, just a little bit so it doesn't affect the flavor. You could maybe do like half soy milk, half coconut milk, or all soy milk, which wouldn't necessarily be traditional, but this is already a fusion dish, so it's not traditional, so feel free to make it your own. I have recipes for my Jamaican jerk sauce and my vegan parmesan on my blog as well, if you just want to make everything from scratch, plus my coconut milk, which is going to take this to the next level if you use homemade coconut milk. So I'll be sure to link all of that in the description box. For even more tips, tricks, step-by-step photos, ingredients, and instructions, be sure to check out jessicainkitchen.com. That will also be linked in the description box, the full blog post with everything that you're gonna need to make this dish. I hope you loved this video so much. If you did, let me know in the comment section, and please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so that you don't miss any of my future videos. Thank you again for all of your support and for being here, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye!